If we kind of break this down concretely, there are a couple different discrete stages to a data program, right? If you think about the data lifecycle, there's provisioning the data store and configuring it and so forth. And there are some key questions that companies need to be able to answer at each stage in order to effectively protect the data. You need to know where the databases are, right? We talked about this already, especially in the cloud, this can be difficult. Once that you know where the databases are, you need to make sure they're properly configured. When data is being loaded into these environments, you need to know what kind of sensitive data is being stored so that you know which environments need more protection. When you're provisioning access control, right, you want to make sure people don't have excessive permissions. Again, you want to make sure that people are actually using the data in a way that doesn't introduce unnecessary risk. And then you want to track the copies of the data that are floating around. So these are really essential questions, and they're not static, right? The answers are constantly changing. And so you really want a solution that can give you continuous answers to these key questions. And that's essentially what we've built at Dasera. So we have a platform that has specific capabilities to answer all of these questions. But to give you a sense, data store creation, we can provide a continuous inventory of all the data stores. Once you know where the data stores are, we can help you manage the security posture of those data stores. As data moves around, we can provide continuous classifications of the data and allow you to create an inventory of the data itself. This leads to then better analysis about, what kind of permissions do we have? Is the data properly protected? Our initial technology actually is built around a query analysis engine that can automatically interpret the behavior of any arbitrary interaction with data. So this allows you to more carefully monitor how people are actually using data. And then finally, we can kind of stitch together context around the data so you can track it, and so the policies can follow the data around. So any copy of the data, any data element that's discovered in an environment, its provenance. Obviously multifaceted. If you think about your company today, you may or may not have confidence in any one of these areas. Addressing all of them might seem a little bit daunting, but actually I walked through this in this order for a reason. You can improve your security posture actually in an incremental way. So, you can think of it as a progression from left to right, from first discovering where the data is to what kind of data it is, and then looking at risks around the data use and exposure. And so I mention this because this is why you really want a platform that takes this kind of holistic end-to-end view of the data lifecycle so that it can assist you in this journey rather than solving any one of these problems in isolation.